All right, so what's your name?
My name is Stephen Bridges.
Stephen Bridges. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So if you didn't know, this channel is pretty much about my military experience. Obviously, you know that you're a part of that since we're being in the same ROTC unit. So where are you from?
From South Carolina.
Okay. Do you like South Carolina?
It has its pros and cons, but I mean, hey, it's home. You never forget where you come from. You never forget where you started out.
So since you said that, I'm gonna have you give me one pro and one con.
Okay. The biggest pro for me, at least, was pretty much growing up. You know, like they say, you know, growing up in the village. You know, everyone knows each other. Everyone grows up with each other. Whether you go to school, go to church with each other, and you know, having a dynamic and being around people like that is beyond pure. It's beyond amazing.
What would you say a con would be?
Con would definitely be, you know, school system. School system is definitely backwards. I feel like I wasn't getting a good enough education over there as much as I am here at Tuskegee University.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that because even when I was in high school, we felt the same way. We felt like we weren't necessarily prepared for the environment. It's weird how it is like that in the South for the most part.
Yeah,
but
especially the South.
Yeah, but we pushed through it. Mm-hmm. What is your classification?
I'm a second-year supply chain major.
Okay, sophomore, supply chain major. Okay,
sir.
Okay. So why supply chain management?
Well, I would like to commission into the United States Navy as a SWO officer, but in doing that, I would also like to be a supply SWO. And the one thing the beauty about having a degree is it's supposed to be something that you take with you into the world, whatever it is you do, whether it's military, civilian world. And that's just something that I would like to do. I would like to be a supply SWO. And then after serving my time in the military, the U.S. Navy to be exact, I would like to go into business for myself, whether it's insurance or supply. And supply chain in the supply chain in the pandemic it's continuing to getting low and low by the day. And it's up to us. It's up to us future majors, whatever it is we're doing as supply chain majors like myself, to pretty much be the change to, you know, better the world, better the environment.
Yeah, I really like what you said about you pretty much have a plan. You know, it might not be detailed, but you have some sort of direction that you want to go in. Mm-hmm. And that's very important because when people decide what they want to do, if you don't have no direction, what happens after that, then what are you really doing it for? You can't really live like that.
Yeah.
Man, so supply chain. So how is school for you?
School is, I've never been more in love with school. Yeah. I've never been more in love. I love getting up in the morning knowing that, you know, I'm coming to an HBCU, which is top 4, by the way, in case anyone that hasn't known. Classes are challenging. They're not hard. Like my dad always says, nothing is hard, but at the same time, you have to apply yourself and you have to actually put in the time, effort, and the work, because nothing in this world is ever going to come easy. But to answer your question, yes, I do love school. I love being surrounded by, you know, people who I genuinely love and care about. And I love the classes I'm taking so far, and I feel like they will definitely be beneficial for me in the long haul.
I love the attitude. It sounds like you're really embracing being here. So, have you made good friends here already?
Yes, I continue to make new ones each and every day, really.
Awesome, man. So do you ever attend football or basketball games?
Oh, no, you can't not attend an HBCU and not attend a football or basketball game, even if it's a baseball or tennis game. I mean, you still got to go to a game. You got to put yourself out there.
Yeah, most definitely. I'll be seeing you at basketball games. That's why I had to say something, man. I love basketball.
I love basketball.
All right. So how do you like being at ROTC?
I love ROTC. This is it's definitely been a huge step, and it's been slightly an adjustment, you know, with me being a Rotc cadet in high school. But I love ROTC. It definitely teaches me what the military will probably prepare us to be, because you see, they're training us to be naval officers. That's the whole point of being in ROTC in college. You know, you're learning to be an officer, you're learning how to lead, you're learning how to communicate, etc. So it's definitely beneficial. I don't regret anything about it. I honestly don't know what my life would have been like if I had attended Tuskegee or any HBCU for that instance without being in ROTC.
Yeah, man, you sound so receptive to information. You know, it's not. I never heard you say, "No, I'm not going to do that." You always said, "I will do this," or "Okay, if I can help, how can I help?" You know, and that's a very good attitude, especially if you're going to be a leader. of many people who has experience, and at the same time, they're looking at you to see what experiences you have. So you're in an awesome position. Do you ever feel pressure to complete school in a prescribed amount of time?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because I found out most recently that there may be a possibility that I may have to spend one more semester here, if not a whole another year, because of due to my major and maybe pursuing a minor in history. So I slightly feel pressure, but at the same time, I don't, because it's normal for some people to, graduate in 5 and it is 4 years, but really and truly, it's not about pretty much the time or the year that you leave out. It's all a matter of, getting the job done right the first time and getting your degree and meeting all the meeting all the requirements.
Right. I'm a big advocate for getting it done the first time. If you do what you have to do and you really truly trying your best to get through, especially being here and I see how the professors work with us, you will be able to go ahead and get what you need out of here. So Tuskegee is really good for that. What is one good thing that you've learned since you've been in ROTC for the past 2 years?
Great question. Wow. Well, I guess what I can, I'll give you, from experience, physical fitness and having certain ranks on your uniform, it doesn't make you a leader. It's about what you're taught, and it's about how you carry yourself, what you do with that. Because anybody can be physically fit. Anybody could probably make admiral if they wanted to. All that doesn't make you a leader. It's about what you do with your position. It's about what you do with your leadership traits and how you it's about what you pretty much do for others and what you really do for yourself. We have the saying in our unit, service before self. So again, anyone can be physically fit. Anyone can have this, that, or the third. That doesn't make you a leader.
Honestly, that's a great answer. I like that you thought about your answer too, because a lot of people think that leadership is all about them, but it's really about letting go. It's really about letting go of the attitude that it's just me. Now it's a us. And so as you pull, as you climb. So you're trying to get people up with you as you go up. So man, I really commend you for that. So Tuskegee ROTC, we've been around since 2009. What's one thing that you feel we could improve on, or are we already improving on?
I feel like we could definitely improve on numbers. Definitely, recruiting more people to, look at joining the Navy or the Marine Corps, because these days a lot of people are looking at either Army, Air Force, National Guard, etc. And no disrespect to those other branches, but the Navy and the Marine Corps is pretty much where it's at. Also, I think we could improve on definitely. For example, when I was coming up in high school, we were known for pretty much doing color guard at more games, and I would like for us to, perform color guard at more games, be it football, baseball, basketball. And one thing I think that we are improving on, but there's always room for improvement. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah, for sure.
There's always room for improvement. The military can, even if there's always room for improvement, we can improve on so much. There's always something that can be done. The job is never done.
Most definitely. So you've been at TU for about 2 years. My question to you is, do you plan on joining any other organizations outside of ROTC? Do you have your eye on anything? Do you feel like you could juggle and handle that? What's your thoughts on that?
I always have my eyes on something, and I do. I actually do. I have quite a bit to name a few. I recently just became a new member of TUSR, Tuskegee University Student Recruiter. I'm currently an RA on campus. I serve as one of the RAs for James Hall.
What's an RA for the people who don't know?
An RA is a residence assistant. So you know how you have the residence that you stay in, whether it's Rockefeller, James, Banneker, Bethune. You know how you have your residence hall director. So the person who's pretty much, their right hand whenever they're, don't show up to work or whatever, we're the person who you would come to.
Okay.
But yeah, just stay tuned. There's always some up my sleeve.
That's what I'm talking about. Like I already said, you're very open and receptive to that information. So you're getting involved in the unit, you're getting involved in the actual Tuskegee student life, which is even more important because it's all about connections, right? It's not always about what you know, it's who you know. So you're getting to meet people in these different resident halls. You know what I mean?
I trip up sometimes too.
Yeah, man. So that's all good. So I know a guy who pledged Sigma out of Tuskegee, and he was an ROTC. He graduated. He's ROTC. He's an officer now in
Heard
the
about
United
him.
States Navy. He also said it's very hard, but it is possible. You know, I want to go ahead and get that for the people who's at home, who's watching this on their phones or whatever. You can do both. You just really have to put the work in. You know, nothing's ever hard, right?
Right.
It's all about what you're willing to give. All right. So, Tuskegee University, you said everything is great. You like the camaraderie, you like meeting people. What's one thing that you feel like Tuskegee University as a whole could improve on?
Wow, that's a really great question. And I don't think I speak for myself on this one. I'm pretty sure I speak for most of my friends, peers. We could definitely improve on, communicating with our professors, both ends really, professors, checking their emails a little more, asking us more, what can they do to be better? What can they do to help? And at the same time, and here's another saying from one of our recently commissioned ensigns: bad news doesn't get better with time. So if you see something lacking now, like, do something about it immediately. So communication. I definitely would like for us to improve on putting money towards, bettering the campus a little bit, such as, dorms that have been closed for whatever reason. I definitely would like for us to improve on having more social activities, because you have some students here who are either just now, coming in or getting ready to leave. No one wants to remember their college experience as, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't get this experience, I didn't get that experience. So we definitely need to improve on having more activities instead of just, like postponing them, just like neglecting them to not ever happen.
Most definitely. I know Tuskegee is starting to renovate and redo some buildings. It might be a plan in place that we might not have seen. It might not have been vocalized to the whole campus. I also like the fact that due to COVID, even though it's as bad as it is, we still had a field day last week on the yard. The school is trying to do the best they can, and I'd like to see progress. Right? And like you said, nobody wants to remember their school as just like a bland experience where people are doing step shows or all virtual.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see it on the yard when it's full and it's packed. Thankfully, we both got a few more years here.
Yep.
Hopefully, we'll be able to see all of that.
Hopefully.
How's the caf for you? The cafeteria, by the way.
No, it's the caf. Well, I never miss breakfast, and I'm always in there for fried chicken Wednesday and fried fish Friday. It's tolerable. It's tolerable. It definitely beats having to maybe waste your points or maybe having to go off campus and spend money. So I usually use my points and use off campus as pretty much like a reward day, passing a PRT, passing an examination. But, everything, the CAF can always use improvement, but it's definitely, taking a much bigger step than when I started out as a freshman. So.
Most definitely, I definitely hear that a lot. The city of Tuskegee. What are some pros and some cons about the city of Tuskegee that you've seen thus far?
Pros would be, I would say, maybe, well, you definitely have access to gas, laundry, things of that nature, dry cleaning, despite how prices are these days, obviously due to the pandemic. And the biggest, and I would say the con is, there's not a whole lot of, activities or things to reach out to, such as for entertainment. Cause see, I spent a majority of my freshman year with, my peer group or my friend group, whatever have you. We would often, go to Auburn for like movie night or maybe just for like dinner. And that's all good and fine, but honestly, who wants to waste gas, going 30 minutes and 30 minutes there and back just for something that you could easily do on campus, which also, brings back to having a little more activities on campus. So no one has to, have to go back and forth.
Right. Shoot, that's word to the university, work with the city so that we can start getting a bigger movie theater.
Please.
Start getting some ice skating rings, some rollerblade rings, get some activities for the students. I really do appreciate you coming out for this interview. The questions that I had for you were very direct, and you answered them very well. Do you have any questions for me?
What's next for the great Mark Lee?
What's next for me? Honestly, I just upload every day. That's my biggest goal. If I could accomplish that goal, I'm actually happy. And definitely graduate. You know what I mean? Graduation is my goal. We're gonna commission together. 2024, right?
2024.
Yeah, we're gonna graduate then. So all in all, I appreciate you coming out to this interview.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no problem. I'll catch you next time.
Yes, sir.
Dude, it's ugly boy, dude. It's ugly boy, dude.